Endurance events are often seen as very solitary pursuits, and in some ways many of the shorter ones are. But when things get long, when you go to ultra distances, a crew is needed to support an athlete to get the very best out of themselves. Proper planning and preparation prevent poor performance. Never is that truer than in the days leading up to an event where the crew need to come together and get all of their logistics sorted out. They need great communication between them. They need to have all of the products that they're going to need bagged and tagged and ready to go. They need a clear, strong list of jobs and responsibilities and a good chain of command, because once the event gets underway, everybody needs to know what they're doing and they need to be slick and operating as a team.
My role is really crew, massage therapist, cook, mechanic. For this event, we brought friends, families, so we've got actually 2 crew cars. So we've got, 12 people here. And my main role is to oversee the 2 crews logistically and just make sure we're hitting the spots and communication and all those things. So it's been challenging and I've lost a little bit of sleep over it, but now we're out here and everything's going smoothly. So yeah, we're excited.
So like a lot of the work on the logistical and the psychological side we've done in advance.
When it comes to the fueling and hydration part of crewing for an ultra distance race, the athlete obviously needs to know their numbers, what they're trying to hit in terms of hydration numbers, in terms of carbohydrate per hour. They need to know that, they need to practice it in training, and they need to be trying to execute it on the day. But in a really long race where the crew's giving you the supplies, the role of the crew is also really important. They need to remember what type of numbers you should be hitting. They need to be looking at the empty packets that are coming in. They need to be talking to the athlete and seeing if that athlete is staying on track. Because very deep into an endurance event, it's hard for the athlete to stay on top of all of that. And the crew need to take responsibility to make sure that athlete is really hitting their numbers.
We have plans A, B, and C of the perfect situation where it goes a little imperfect, and then when everything hits the fan all at once, what do we do then? So that ends up meaning you have a lot of stuff at your crew station. Your crew station ends up being filled almost like a buffet of options, but that you're going to be the one as crew that directs them to what you think they need, and only if they tell you otherwise do you deviate from that. Because often athletes think they need one thing when in fact you know from their training that you need to override that a little bit. So it's a little bit of tough love sometimes, and a very large cooler full with a lot of stuff.
In a long event, it's not only the athletes that get tired, the support crew are also under a lot of pressure and doing long hours, so they need to look after themselves as well.
I mean, we got Heather ready last night, which would be nutrition plan, gear plan, logistical plan, all those things in place. And then once she was sorted and put to bed, then we made a nutrition plan for the crew and a care plan for the crew, so making sure we had enough layers of clothing to take on and off. My message to the crew is like, don't wait till you're starving, just like kind of snack along just like the athletes.
You need to focus on yourself just like a racer, which primarily comes down to hydration, fluid with calories as much as you possibly can, and then getting a square meal when you would eat a square meal. And you get so run down that you're not able to make the decisions to help the athlete or to be able to enjoy this experience, which can be so enriching.
I've got a 38-mile run to do, and I kind of forgot that last time, and I just got to, I've made sure my breakfast is on point, my kit's all ready. So yeah, looking forward to it. Although that little slight concern you're going to get dropped, but I think I should be fine.
Sometimes changing into a fresh pair of shoes, socks, or putting on a dry shirt can make an athlete feel brand new again when they're deep into a long event.
So you're a NASCAR pit crew out there. You do not want people to have to spend time being like, oh, I want that thing, and that thing is in the car. So we have it all laid out so that everything in terms of any kit change can happen within 1 or 2 seconds. Because those 5 or 10 seconds that can be like, oh, I need to grab that thing, they add up. Because usually it's not gonna matter, it's gonna be nice and smooth. But the times that it can be a little rough can get in the athlete's head as much as it can waste time. So be on top of it, have it laid out, and be methodical with that process.
Crewing puts you in some high pressure situations. It really benefits from having a cool head, taking a deep breath, and making sure you're relaxed.
Anything that we sort of do as a crew is going to rub off on that athlete. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of excitement as those athletes come through, especially at the front of the pack. So we really need to make sure that we stay nice and calm so that they can really take those collected thoughts with them on the next section of the trail.
Our mantra at these races, deal with the controllables, and the uncontrollables are going to happen, and you just kind of got to roll with those. So I don't know, I always feel it's wasted energy to get stressed out, so I just try and take a real laid-back attitude with it, and it always seems to work for us.
Your role is calm, confident positivity. That even if you're not feeling that way, make sure you present it, because that athlete's feeling it enough. And if they're the type of athlete that responds to enthusiasm, bring it, because every little bit of energy counts, especially when things later in races start to become less about physiology and more about psychology. So that it's that loving, positive energy that can help someone really conquer something they would never thought they could do.
My belief is that a crew is important to the attitude of the runner. It's a place to look forward to seeing your friends that have your specific items that you might need to get through the race. And sometimes that's just on a pat on the back and get going. But you know, from that to a full sandwich or whatever it takes to get that runner through the race.
When she's in the heat of the battle like this, we tend to have to calm her down, tell her it's a long day, slow down, slow down.
So when you get out there, you're facing all of these elements, all of this competition, and then you see how the race is unfolding. And that's where personal relationships start to come in. It's like, okay, why does this athlete trust me? Why am I the type of person that can deliver a message to them that will resonate? And so understanding your specific relationship with that athlete, what brings you to them, and then what motivates them, it's so individual dependent and so dependent on the day. And I think there's that art here that can be behind some fantastic performances.
The crew's job is to tell the athlete the right thing at the right time. But what that is quite dynamic.
So there you have it. It's amazing what goes into crewing athletes and supporting them properly in an event like this. And whether you're the athlete or part of the crew at your next adventure, I tip my hat to you.